Hello everybody, this is Simon with Let's Play Sonic Unleashed. It is finally time, after faffing around quite a bit around the world, to actually play a level in this platformer video game with boost mechanics. Can you even believe it? We are going to Shamar and we are going to do the day stage as per your vote, and I'm going to take this shortcut, which is always a little bit awkward to take because god does the sliding suck in this game and I don't like it. But anyway, we are back in the entrance stage already. I do appreciate the shortcut existing. And we now take the intended route through here. Die, please, thank you, up there. And we are going to take the path back to where we got the shoes with a small distraction here. Just checking, is there anything in the day? Because I didn't get into this corner when I was first exploring the entrance stage. Nope, up we go. And we land perfectly on Arid Sands Act 1, which is a really cool stage for a lot of reasons. First of all, the music. Perhaps my personal favorite day stage track. Apart from that, the concept of this stage is also brilliant. As you can tell, we are currently boosting through the city itself, similar to Apotos and Spagonia, but this level is actually populated with a bunch of NPCs. This in particular really sells the idea that the city hubs are just an abstraction, and this is how the town actually looks like, sprawling, lively, and with people actively cheering on Sonic as he destroys robots. It's great. I have alluded to in the past that this stage has given me trouble, and I do strongly remember my very first time playing this level was me getting an E rank for the first time and laughing at the funny results music. And I can definitely see why. There is a lot of tricky wall jumping segments. This part here is very hard to do quickly and I tend to then get frustrated a little bit, but it's fine now, right? You can see me struggling a little bit, and I am just now going to do a lightspeed dash, and I'm going in the wrong direction because the camera was already fixated on being 2D, I think. But fortunately, I am actually quite good at the awkward wall jumps now, even though there's segments like this where I'm like, but no, you let yourself drop and jump now and it's fine and you can keep going. And as I said, there are also going to be a little bit more awkward 2D segments later on, which are always kind of tricky in this game. But I am now doing fine, so I'm quite happy with what we are going to see. We are now out of the city, which is also cool, because we see basically two completely different environments as Sonic is going to look for the temple, where the temple key, or half of it at least, is going to be hidden. This is the first of our 2D segments and starts very promising with the switch that doesn't work, but you can also already tell here that there is a lot more different elements with wall jumps that I don't really want to do, but also these moving platforms here combined with the fire chats. I do strongly remember struggling a lot here with the platforming, but as I said, I've gotten better at just utilizing the wall jumps correctly. You can also tell from the boost string to the side, there is a way to skip this entire thing if you're doing well. So basically having to do the 2D segments, there's like 3 of them in the stage, feels a little bit like a punishment. And if you are going fast and doing well and finding all of the shortcuts, then you never have to do them. Overall, I think the pacing of this level works out quite well. You have a bunch of these open 3D boosting segments, separating the 2D segments where, again, if you're doing well, you jump over most of them. They are, again, mostly ramping up the asshole factor with a bunch of these trick springs here, and I don't quite know what to think of that segment, but if you keep going here, you can definitely get a good pace. And for example, here we're already out. I already know that down there is probably punishment and wasting my time, but nope, think fast, by the way. Here, homing attack into lightspeed dash. God, I love it when I can do that in Sonic games, and I can finally do it in this Sonic game because now I have the lightspeed dash. You can also tell that there is a higher grind rail above us, so again, for example, if I had gotten the shortcut where I was attempting to homing attack the ones in the middle of the grind rail, but I was already committed basically, then probably I would have already skipped this entire thing, maybe even gotten to the top there and not be trapped down here in a slower segment. So here, for example, as well, if I had made this jump up there, I could have jumped onto this rail immediately, not have to go through the slow part at the bottom, and probably also not have to do this awful part here where you're doing 2D platforming, where your momentum gets killed by the moving platform. Like, I don't know why his jump was so dinky. I definitely pressed the button full. Flow killer as always, don't like it, but at least I didn't die or anything. So we're back to a 3D segment where I find out that the falling pillars can actually hurt you. So again, a little bit awkward if you're doing it the first time, but at least I'm not dying. Speaking of dying, no extra life for me because I'm not turning around in this awkward moment. And now we are running on the side, which is always a little bit tough to not fall off, but I have finally mastered the art of sidestepping, just hitting LB, RB and not trying to curve around in any way. And we are here at the final stretch of the level. Through this cool corridor we have reached the temple and half the key and beaten the stage without dying semi-blind. I'm very happy with this, but you can tell that there is a lot more optimization to be done, a lot of stuff that I missed, but for just getting through it for the first time I feel like this was a very good showcase and I'm quite happy with this. And now that we have beaten the level without too big of an issue, 5 minutes on the clock, then maybe we can spend a little bit of more time talking to some of the NPCs that now have updated dialogue, at least some of them. Going to cut around the ones that don't, as we have now beaten this stage and they are reacting to it, which is something that I always enjoy. First of all, however, there is this guy here who has now actual dialogue for a side quest, and we finally find out what we have to collect all of those teas for, because yes, there is in fact one kind of tea in every entrance stage. Very nice, I have already spotted that pattern before, and so we will now be able to find him in every entrance stage and give him the tea that we already have gotten, of course, already. I don't quite know where he goes next, but we will find him and keep giving him tea and it's going to be fine. He's still on the professor grind for some reason, but that's okay. And now something that I also find quite interesting is that most of the NPCs that we're talking to here are alluding to the temple actively crumbling, which is something we have just seen. And so it's basically an in-story reason for why things keep breaking down around us, and it's not just Sonic with his hyper speed or causing destruction willy-nilly, which I also kind of like. It gives the stage just this little bit of extra flavor and integration in the world, something that Shamar here really manages well, much better even than a lot of the other stages, even though they are still pretty good. Anyway, now that we are done with that, there is a little something that I want to take care of just to get it out of the way. This awful side quest where we have now waited a day for Anna's dad to talk to her. And yes, we are going to keep playing matchmaker because this side quest isn't going to solve itself, and we will see how far we can take this Anna's weird obsession. Also, there's Wellin here, and she is hot. Sounds wrong. I don't quite know what she means with grabbing a bite to eat, but we will find out eventually, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, nothing new here. Anything with you? Nope, we have solved this. And what about you then? He does not approve. The strict dad is like, let's just agree with him, but I think his reasoning is wrong. Like, Anna can of course be happy with anybody outside the village. After all, the village has like 3 people in there. Maybe it's just an abstraction and this is actually sprawling metropolis, I don't know. But again, of course, in order to continue here, we have to choose the right answers. And I do think that Musaid is a trustworthy fella. He looks like he has a straight head on his shoulders and he has a steady job as a tour guide. Not here, of course, but you know. But you can't screw this up, of course, and the correct answer is that he needs to trust his daughter, which makes sense. This comes out of left field, like what does it mean with testing? Why is this Sonic's idea? Because obviously there is a test already in place. So yeah, as I said, I don't like this side quest, it makes no sense. And I still don't understand why this is basically giving tacit approval to Anna just deciding, oh yeah, this guy, I need to abduct him from his place and there is no way for him to say no. And this is fine. Is this supposed to be funny? Yeah. Poor Musaid. This is the one thing that makes him happy in this entire side quest, but of course we're going to strictly ruin this for him, because we are going to do the test for them, for whatever reason. Again, no reason for Sonic to agree here, but it's okay. We are just going to help him cheat on the test he doesn't want to do and do this platforming, which obviously would have been completely possible for him. And I do quite like this stage, this snippet of a stage, because it is basically just doing the level backwards, and they put in a few things to enable that. It's not a big deal, like it's not some amazing platforming or whatever, but I do think the idea here is pretty interesting, and also you don't have to fight a single robot, which is also a fun concept for a night stage. You can also skip a lot of it completely free, no problem, no danger here, but that does mean that I don't have to do any balancing, so as is sadly often the case in a Sonic level, the more you can skip of it, the better it is. We're going to do a big jump here. I don't know if there is a better intended method. I don't intend to find out, because again, we are doing something backwards where originally we had to activate some rising platforms. These guys didn't even see me, but I don't want to have them here standing around, be annoying with their noises. So I'm going to take them out real quick, and this one guy keeps getting pummeled even though his health bar is already gone, which is always kind of amusing to me. Unless I want the experience crystals, then it's annoying to me. Get a free medal here at the end, and we beat this well within the time limit. As usual, most of these side quests here are not actually difficult, but they are, as I said, a nice and interesting spin on snippets of what could be a hard mode of these levels if you put them all together. And yeah, sorry Musaid, I felt this weird compilation to do a 100% run, but also well, otherwise you would be completely stuck here at an unfinished point, so yeah. Kiwami is also not quite happy about that, as this is just how it is now, and we will have to see that everybody is as well acquainted with each other in the end as possible. Yeah, so she is happy because she got exactly what she wanted by being obnoxious. And the hearts are starting to float out of him, and he has got a sad, resigned smile, so I guess that's fine. Thank you very much for your attention.